What's up, guys? Imagine here. I'm gonna do a video, kind of an update video on the HH.357. Actually, it's right over here. Wrong device. So this is the 357. I've had it now since August 17th, or actually a couple days before that, because I did the video, my first video on the 17th. And then I did an update on, I think it was on, let me see what day I did that. It was on the 19th. I did a little bit of an update after having it for 4 or 5 days. I've now had it for like a little over 6 weeks, maybe 6.5. And I kind of want to give another update. This is kind of the the big deal here, the $22 atomizer that everybody wanted and still wants really bad. Let's do a couple of hits and. Still performs really well. Now, with that in mind, this is probably the most time-consuming atomizer I've ever had. I have to clean it every few days because it does get heavy with the gunk. And that could be just because of my juice. Somebody else might be using a PG juice and it's not as sugary or as high in the sugar content or whatnot with their flavoring. Mine's a heavy VG juice, so I guess that correlates. Could be a direct correlation with it. I've cleaned it maybe like 5 or 6 times, and that's when I'll probably have to do it tonight because I can notice that it's starting to drop down a little bit. It's starting to get a little less flavorful. The vapor is okay, but I'll probably soak it tonight. In my other video I talked about, I soaked it in the, I bought bottles of little bottles of vodka, the cheap $2 or $3 bottles that you don't want to drink. And I soak it every couple of days, maybe like once a week, if that. Sometimes more, depending on how much I vape. So like I've said, I've cleaned it like 5 or 6 times, and I've had it for 5 or 6 weeks. Well, a little over 6. So almost once a week I clean this, and I use it. I leave it on here. I don't use any other atomizer on here really. I just kind of leave it there, and this is kind of my 357 device, which it's great. It has good flavor when you clean it, and it goes for about 5, 6, 7 days. Definitely worth it. At this point, 6 weeks, a little over 6 weeks, I feel confident to say that $22 is well spent. What I recommended to the average vapor, maybe not the average vapor, but maybe somebody that knows that they're going to be spending time cleaning it, and they're going to be, it's more, like I said in the last 2 videos, it's a very advanced atomizer, but it works really well, and it outperforms a lot of atomizers that I've had that have died within the past 6, 7 weeks. So with that said, $22 was well spent in my book, and I wouldn't hesitate to get another. I continue to keep a 306 low resistance on my other atomizers, Cisco, and I use that when I don't want to. When I get tired of using the 357, I'll grab this and I get good vapor and good flavor from that. But then I'll be like, I feel like grabbing this, and I'll grab this. Now, I do have to every 2 days, besides the cleaning, or almost every night or every now and then, I'll mess up and flood it. I'll flood it to the point where you can't. I would say sometimes I almost think this is better for dripping than for bottom fed, or maybe a top fed device would work better because it would drip right in there. But I still will find myself flooding it, getting it to the level that I want it, and I've gotten a lot better, and I know exactly kind of where to do it, but sometimes I do over, fill or push it too much, and I fill it up, and I want, and it sometimes is also because the batteries are dying, and I'm thinking, maybe I need more juice, but really the battery's dying, and I need to just replace the battery, so I kind of do that to myself, but that's what happens, and then I clean it out, I give it a quick blow, and then I'll put a little bit of juice in there and vape away again. And then I soak it. Like I said, at least once a week I soak this thing. So definitely worth it. Let me do a couple more hits. See, it's getting a little low on flavor. And if you put too much, if you go just a hair too much, then it becomes flooded, and the atomizer struggles at that point. So I try to keep it as low as possible, just a little doorknob type of press and suck, just to keep it at a happy medium, it becomes kind of a pain in the ass, and that's when I'll grab the other device and say, you know, I'll just use that for now. But shit, if I gotta clean it every now and then, and I gotta soak it, you know, and it's still lasting almost, you know, over 6 weeks now, I'll come back in a couple more weeks and see how it is from there. So I recommend it definitely. Maybe to the average user, somebody that's a little, you know, they have to. I mean, obviously, you gotta know, you gotta clean it the right way, you gotta soak it, and you gotta make sure you get it to the right way. It's almost, like I said, it's almost better for a dripper because you can control better the flow of juice going to your atomizer. So I almost think it is better for a dripper, but it can work with a bottom fed device. You just gotta. It can be wonky at times. Wonky, is that a word? I don't know. It can be, what's the word? Like flippy. It's a little, like, you know, it's very nitpicky, you know, so you got to kind of take your time and use it. But I definitely like it, and I definitely recommend it still. So avidvapor.com, the HH.357. I see there's been improvements on the newer ones, and they actually have the logo on there. I kind of wish mine had that, because sometimes I do. You gotta remember which device, you know, or where it is, and sometimes I forget that it is on here. But then you just pop off and look in the top, and you can always tell it's a bridgeless atomizer with just the ceramic cup. So no more rambling. Check out a 357 at avidvapor.com, and this is Imagine. Later, guys.